And the U.S. is preparing for a flood of migrants trying to cross the southern border as Title 42 is set to end in just 2 days. Come Thursday, that Trump-era policy that allowed authorities to immediately deport most migrants will no longer be in place. That means that tens of thousands of migrants currently waiting in Mexico can apply for asylum in the U.S.
Is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com. Ladies and gentlemen, get the link in the description section. Make sure you check out all of our Mother's Day pre-merch, meaning that we're pre-selling a pre-launch of our Mother's Day merch. So therefore, you can buy it now. You can have it before Mother's Day. So those of you who are last-minute shoppers, get your mama some stuff. The link is here. And check out my beautiful wife and my son. They're going to pop up on the screen somewhere down here. Go get you the merch today. Mama Bear. Put Mama Bear in, you get 25% off, I believe, these items in pre-sale. Like, subscribe to the channel. Do your thing, Woody. Let's get into this. Crazy stuff going on in the world. Namely, one of the craziest things that I've heard of as of today, I could say the second craziest thing. The first craziest thing is the illegal aliens that are bombarding our border and invading our country. I'm not understanding what's going on here, because it looks to me as if our country is being invaded. There are hundreds of thousands of people that you can visibly see on camera, and honestly, the media is completely deceiving us, that are marching their way towards the United States of America's southern border. Hundreds of thousands of people. And the crazy thing is that it is impossible to filter through all of these people to figure out who's a terrorist, who is not, who's susceptible to being terrorist, who is not, who's in this country for malice intent, or who's just trying to work. And it doesn't really matter at this point who wants to work or not. Do we have enough room for unskilled labor to be entering into our country? We should immediately cancel all immigration into this country. All immigration should cease immediately, especially people just walking into the southern border. Anybody with a expired visa, I think the biggest thing, we could start with people who are just in this country with no paperwork whatsoever. They just came here, jumping fences, coming through the immigration system, supposed to go to proceedings in court. Should send all of them back. We should stop immigration as we know it today for at least 5 or 6 years and allow for only merit-based immigration, which would be if you have a set of skills that you can add to the United States of America, then we could have you in our country to explore those skills. If you're going to come over here and go to school in our country because you can add value to making America better with a commitment to assimilating into America, then maybe we can consider you. People just coming over here because they don't like where they live, at this point, is not sustainable. It's not that we lack compassion, but it's not sustainable. Stay in the country that you are in, and maybe we could help your country become sustainable for you. But all of these people coming into the United States of America is just, it's I don't even know why it's not a national emergency.
Right now, as we're speaking, the Texas National Guard is loading Black Hawk helicopters and C-130s, deploying specially trained National Guard members for the Texas Tactical Border Force. They will be deployed to hot spots along the border to intercept, to repel, and to turn back migrants who are trying to enter Texas illegally.
Now, I know that Greg Abbott is sending troops to the border to deal with the crisis. But, I mean, this is all on Joe Biden and the Democrats. Donald Trump wanted to build the wall.
We're going to build the wall. We have no choice. We have no choice. Build that wall. 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 So, we're going to build it. Who's going to pay for the wall? 100%. By the way, 100%.
But they said he's a racist, and it was only because of political reasons, but they try to justify saying he's a racist when he is not. It's very simple. There is wall that already exists on the southern border. How did it get there? Because at one point, our country actually cared about securing the border to a certain degree. And then it became politicized. Then it became a political talking point. Then once a man say, we need to secure the border, now if you are the opposing party, you have to disagree with him. No matter what sense it makes, you have to disagree with him. The Democrats at one point wanted to build the wall, funded building a wall. But when Donald Trump say build the wall, they have to run the narrative that this is anti-American and racist. Barack Obama created the cages where the illegal aliens' children were in, and some of them came over here without parents. Clearly, we need to make sure that they're safe, so we had to house them somewhere, and they were in cages. Barack Obama started that under his administration. They decided to highlight it under the Trump administration and make it all about Trump, and they knew it wasn't. These people are evil, and I hope that they all have judgment against them for what they do.
Two things. Number one, they genuinely do not give a damn. And I know that sounds harsh, but if they gave a damn, they would change their policies. When they see 853 migrants who died in the last year crossing illegally, they'd say, let's stop this. When they see 100,000 people who die of drug overdoses, they'd say, let's stop this. When they see women who've been sexually assaulted over and over and over again, when they see kids who've been physically and sexually assaulted over and over and over again, if they cared, they would stop it. But it doesn't matter to them. We all remember AOC in her white pantsuit down at the border with her head in her hands crying. Why was she crying? Because Donald Trump was president. Obviously, she wasn't crying about the plight of the illegal immigrants because the plight has gotten worse and our communities are paying the price. They don't care, number one. But number two, the only explanation I can come up with for why they keep doing this is they look at everyone crossing illegally and they think that is a future Democrat voter. They recognize they can't win elections based on actual policy positions because their socialist policies are unpopular in America. And so they are trying to radically change the electorate in America, and they're willing to allow people to suffer and die in order to achieve that political objective. It really is, it is cynical and it's cruel what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and every congressional Democrat is doing right now.
The ends justify the means for leftists. That means that it doesn't matter what they do, because they believe it at the end of the day, they're doing it for a right purpose. So they will kill, steal, and destroy, damage, and destruct because they think the end result is equity. And I wouldn't even believe that they think the end result is equity. They think the end result is a talking point called equity that will then lead to ultimate power for them. No rational person with any kind of intelligence or education would believe for 1 minute that the Democrat Party is doing anything in the best interest of this country. You can argue about the Republicans if you like. It is unequivocally clear that Democrats do not care about America. The border is out of control. Climate control. It's a farce. I was looking at a scientific research project that was done, and I got to find the name of it, but I was watching it. I mean, it was a whole documentary, like a docu-series on it. And it was showing how they can draw out of the earth. I think they were in the North Pole or somewhere. They drew out of the earth and they could tell from years. No, it was in Iceland. They drew out of the earth and they can tell the temperature of the ice from hundreds of years ago. And, you know, the deeper down the ice is, the longer the years were that they could observe. And they observed that we are technically about 50 years from the coldest point in the last 5,000 years. And we're up slightly from that point, but we're still, like 3 or 4 degrees colder than any major point thousands of years ago. And so the lie is that the globe is warming, but it's warming past the coldest point ever, or at least in 5,000 years. So they're deceptive and they're liars, and liars go to hell at the end of all of this. And I honestly hope and pray that they turn it around or meet judgment, because the lives, the legacy, the bloodshed that has occurred for this country is being thrown out of the window because people are hypnotized with the strive to have power and control. It angers me to think that a politician, whether Republican or Democrat, will get on television and lie to your face because that is politically expedient for their campaign. And we've seen it happen on both sides. But I would argue 9 out of 10 of the times, it's the Democrats that are fraudulent people.